Hey guys, it's GameFace here and welcome back to episode 4 of my Leeds United career mode. Now in today's episode we've got some more matches to play, the first of which is against Huddersfield. We'll also hopefully be getting through the rest of the summer transfer window, maybe trying to sign a couple of players and possibly selling one or two as well. We'll also get Nottingham Forest after that. We'll be playing both of these matches. I think we'll only get through 2 games though in this episode because of the transfers that we'll be doing at some point, and then we'll get on to the other game against Huddersfield probably next episode. But before we get into things, if we could go ahead and hit 30 likes on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. We are so close to 5,000 subs. I keep on saying it every single episode. I think we're about 20 off, maybe, something like that. It's getting ridiculously close now, so if you could go ahead and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. But let's crack on to this first transfer offer which we had in the last episode. I left it down to you guys as to whether I was going to sell Luke Murphy or not. Nottingham Forest came back and said they'll pay 2.1. We asked for 2.2, but basically they came back and said they'll pay 2.1. Everyone said sell him. So we're going to sell him. Luke Murphy's going. We're going to, in return, try and get somebody else in for midfield because we are a little bit light with him going on to Nottingham Forest. So we'll have to try and sign somebody as well. But we've also got Barrow, which we're going to hopefully try and sign in this episode. He's been a little bit awkward with his wage demands at the moment. He's saying that the league is not quite prestigious enough for him to join. So we're going to focus on looking at a midfielder to begin with. Then we'll get on with the game, and then we'll hopefully try and sign Barrow afterwards. Okay, so here are some of the shortlisted centre-mids I'm looking at the moment. Tom Carroll is one of them. Obviously, he's a Premier League midfielder. Maybe going to be a little bit pricey for us. I am scouting all these players, by the way. So we'll inquire about him, find out what sort of price Tottenham are after. It could be that he's well out of our price range and we won't be able to get him. Daniel Johnson, quite a fast midfielder. I think that'll be quite nice to have in the midfield. Obviously at Preston at the moment. Again, one that we'll look at. We'll inquire about him and find out what sort of price they're after for him. And we've got Corey Smith, one of the suggestions in the comments of the previous episode as to a midfielder I should try and sign. I'll be honest, not heard of him before, but we will inquire about him, see what he's like. Apparently a fairly good midfielder, sort of a like-for-like replacement with Luke Murphy, but maybe a little bit faster judging by those stats. Matty James, another Premier League midfielder, obviously not getting much game time for Leicester. Could we get hold of him? Possibly, we'll have to wait and see. I think he's around 69 overall, 70 overall. Dan Gosling, maybe a little bit out of our league again at the moment, just yet, quite literally out of our league. He is from the Premier League. I don't think he's getting played too often for Bournemouth, maybe a bench player for them, but obviously he would get into our starting 11 at times. So I think we'll just go ahead again, inquire about all these players. I think any of them, to be honest, will be very good signings for us. Hopefully try and get one of them in after this match. But let's crack on to the game against Huddersfield now. I'll sort out the team, and remember, it is a cup game, so there will be some changes in the side. So this is the team I'm going to go with for the game against Huddersfield. Silvestri starts in goal. Barandi will play at right back. McKay and Cooper at centre back. Not ideal, but we are struggling a little bit. Bart Leeds available to play. He's on the bench, but he wouldn't, I don't think, be available for the Nottingham Forest game. So I've risked McKay in there alongside Cooper. Denton at left back, Grimes and Murphy in midfield. Murphy's in there with it being probably his final game, and also because if I play him, he's not going to be tired for the next match because he won't be here for the next match, basically. Roof will stand left hand side, Coyle will go on the right with Alex Moe in behind Fletcher. And that leaves us with the bench looking like that. So a little bit depleted for some players. Their energy is a little bit low. But I've gone with that bench and we'll wait and see how we do. So let's crack on with the game against Huddersfield. Hopefully get ourselves into the next round. And see whether we can get ourselves a couple of goals in this game. Alright then, here we go. We need to get ourselves a win against Huddersfield. Another big match. Obviously a big rivalry between the two teams. We'll have to wait and see though whether we can beat them. Alex Moe finds a ball through to Fletcher. It's a great chance. Fletcher smashes it home. 1-0, 9 minutes in. Fantastic quick start from us there. And it's Alex Moe who's found the little pass through to Fletcher, who got on the end of it and smashes it home. Brilliant start from us. Fletcher seems to do quite well up front for us. I've been trying him off the bench, and he's been doing very well in the league games off the bench. But now he's got himself a start, and he's found a good little run through. I think the Huddersfield defence there is a bit all over the place, but we've smashed it home, and we're winning the game 1-0. Fletcher now to shoot. It's a long range one, but it's found the back of the net. What a hit. Ashley Fletcher is certainly starting to persuade me to maybe stick him up front in some of the league games. He is only here on a short-term loan, filling in for Chris Wood when he got injured, but certainly he has performed whilst he's been here. Fantastic bit of play here, just too quick for Huddersfield, simple as that. Smashes it outside of the box into the bottom left-hand corner, Ashley Fletcher with the goal. And now I start to wonder whether I should have signed him up for longer, but at the end of the day, I want to keep this squad fairly Leeds. I didn't want to bring in loads and loads of new players, so the fact that he's leaving probably in January isn't, I don't think, too bad, because obviously we'll have Chris Wood back then, and I do want to try and use as many Leeds players as possible in this career mode, obviously. So it's a shame that he's only here for a short time, but he's certainly getting us some goals whilst he is here. Well, it's half time, we're still winning the game 2-0. Been quite a solid game for us, to be honest. I think in attack, we've looked very good. Ashley Fletcher has been probably our best player on the pitch quite easily in that first half. Without him up front, it'd probably still be 0-0, to be honest, at half-time. Defensively, though, surprisingly, Paul McKay has not been found out in defence. He's not been exposed at all. We've not really been put under that much pressure, though, by Huddersfield, so that might well happen in this next half. We won't make any changes just yet. I think we'll leave it 15-20 minutes, something like that, and then we'll look to introduce some other players. McKay one-on-one with Naki Wells, who's managed to get away from him and shoot. Good save in the end by Silvestri. Okay, first two changes now. We'll bring on Dan Kugara and Kyle Bartley. So just going to make those two changes for now. We might bring on a third at some stage if we need to, which means we're taking off Roof and also we're taking off McKay as well. So let's get exposed a little bit there in defence, McKay. So we're bringing on a bit more quality. Hopefully he doesn't get too tired, Kyle Bartley, in this match, or injured, even worse, something like that. But that means we're going to move Alex Moore out to the left-hand side and Grimes playing just in behind Fletcher. Not ideal having to do that. I don't think Moore is particularly good out wide, but we are struggling for wingers, hence why we're trying to get in Barrow after this game. But we'll have to wait and see how that does, what that does to the team, how those changes work. Hopefully, though, it doesn't do too much to the side. Final change, 5 minutes left. Coyle will come off, Sacco will come on. That's literally just to freshen things up a little bit. He was getting very, very tired, Coyle, out there. So Sacco, can't see him wrecking his energy too much for the next game out wide. So we'll do that. There's only 5 minutes left. It was literally just a quick final change. That is it, we've won the game 2-0, fantastic result against Huddersfield, and we're through to the next round. I'll be interested to see who we get in the next round, hopefully Premier League opposition, that would be quite nice, but we'll have to wait and see when that happens, and yeah, we'll move on to the next game now, but first obviously have a look at some transfers and that sort of thing, potentially getting rid of Luke Murphy, if Nottingham Forest and him can come to some sort of deal to let him go to their club. So let's find out how we get on with our bids that we put in as well. Okay, so first things first, Luke Murphy's gone, basically, as quick as that is gone. 1.5 million added on to the transfer budget, so not loads, but we'll maybe use it towards another player. Barrow's come back and said he doesn't think the league is prestigious enough for him still, so not good. We need to have a look at maybe another option for that. We offered him 65 grand a week, which is a considerable amount more than what he was asking for, so I think that's very harsh for him not to accept it. The final offer I'm going to put in is simply 70 grand, and that is it. I'm not going to go any more than that for a player of basically 75 overall. He's not that fantastic, he's only 75. So we'll go with that. I think we'll go with crucial first team player as we have done before. 4-year deal. If he doesn't accept it, sadly we'll have to move on to other players. Now onto a midfield player to replace Luke Murphy. Pochettino's come back and said 3.7 million for Tom Carroll. We've then got Corey Smith at 1.7 and we've got Dan Gosling at 2.6. So we'll put in bids for I think all of them, although I think Tom Carroll's probably going to be a little bit out of our price range, to be honest. But we'll go with a £2.2 million bid I think for him. 37 grand a week. I think he'll be quite an interesting player to have in the team. Obviously try and get in some Premier League quality if we can. And Corey Smith, 1.7 is what they're asking for. I think we'll go with maybe a 1.2 or 1.1, I think, actually, to begin with. We'll undercut all of these asking prices by a little bit and see what they say to the initial bid. Dan Gosling, 2.6 is what they're after, so we will put in a bid of maybe 1.8. I think that's a fair amount. Okay, Bournemouth have come back and said 2.6, that's it, that's what they asked for before, that is what they're going to want basically, but I'm not happy with that, I'm not going to pay 2.6 for him. 2.2, we'll up it slightly, see what they say to that, hopefully come to an agreement in between the two amounts. Bristol City just come back and said they've basically accepted a bid from another club. I don't know what club that is it Derby by any chance? Yeah, 1.2 million, so our initial bid, was that 1.1 or 1.2? It was 1.1, so we'll just match what Derby put in, and they accepted that, so they'll accept ours, I would imagine. 1.2 is what we'll do. Spurs have come back and actually accepted the bid. 2.2 million, that is very bizarre. They obviously wanted 3.7, but they've accepted 2.2. He's currently on 37 grand a week, but he'll take 35. Strange, he wants a pay decrease. I'm not complaining, okay? I'll happily give him a pay decrease if he wants a pay decrease. We won't bother with the bonus per goal. He seems like he wants to join us, to be honest. I think we'll go important. Oh, no, actually, no, we'll go crucial first team player. Although I'm not too sure what overall he is. I think he's probably going to be about 72, 73, I'd say, but I don't know. And Barrow's actually come back and finally accepted, although he wants 70 grand a week. So we'll deal with that one in a second. Daniel Johnson, inquiry about him. 2 million is what Preston's manager said. Again, 2 million, not too sure what overall he is. He's fast, and I wanted someone that was fast in the midfield to try and kind of give us a bit more of energy, I suppose. Now Lewis Cook's gone. So I think maybe 1.2 is what I'll go with, maybe 1.4 actually. I don't want to undercut it too much. We'll wait and see what Preston say to that. But it seems like we're making some progress with these midfielders. Matty James, 1.4 million is what Ranieri wants for him. I think we can get him for under $1 million, to be honest. So we'll put in a bid and go with, I think, 800 grand. Maybe we can get him for that. Maybe they're going to want more, like $1 million. Who knows? Let's find out. I think with the Barrow deal, I don't know whether we can go ahead with this, to be honest. Financially, 70 grand a week is a lot for us. 3.5 million as well. But we do need another winger. That is the simple fact. We need another winger, and I think we're going to have to do it. 70 grand is not ideal, though. So we'd have to get in a bit of a weaker midfielder. But I think we should be able to just about afford to get in Tom Carroll and Barrow, although we'll wait and see. There's obviously other midfielders as well that we could get in. But I think we'll sign Barrow. We're going to have to fork out a hell of a lot on his wage, though. Not fantastic news for us in that sort of sense, but it is great news that we've signed a top player, 75 overall, finally got our man, and he will slot straight into our starting 11. Very fast player, very good dribbling as well, and he can play left and right. So really looking forward to getting him in the side. Leeds Ford saying great work, and we've reached one of our brand exposure goals. Not on purpose, to be honest, but whatever, okay, didn't really mean to do that. We had to sign one crucial first team player in the midfield position. Yeah, it makes sense, definitely. But yeah, we'll move on now to the next couple of days. Hopefully try and sign another centre mid before this next game. I don't think we desperately need another one before the next game, but obviously in the long term we will need another midfielder, I think, in the squad. But we do have a transfer offer in for Ross Turnbull, a player that we're trying to get rid of. We will, I think, ask for the 350 grand that he is worth from Shrewsbury. The initial bid of 300 grand, probably not quite good enough. Although if they don't want to match it, we might well go ahead and accept it. Leicester City have come back and said they want 1.4. Again, basically just asking for what they initially inquired or valued him at before. So we'll go with a £1 million bid. Hopefully that's closer to the actual value we can get him for. Preston coming back saying 2 million. Again, similar sort of theme here, isn't there? They're just wanting what we inquired about. So we'll go, I think, 1.7. Again, try and get a little bit closer to that value. Hopefully they can match it. And Bournemouth actually accepting the £2.2 million bid for Dan Gosling. It's a little bit unexpected. Maybe we can get a midfielder in return after selling them Lewis Cook. We'll have to change things around, though, I think, in the wage budget, because we don't quite have enough. Okay, so we'll go crucial first team player, 30 grand a week, although at the moment we can't afford to actually sign him. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we don't quite have 2.2 million and the 30 grand a week salary. We're just a little bit off it, which is typical, but sadly that is the case. I think we're probably about 100 or 200 grand off being able to sign him at the moment. So it's a little bit disappointing, that one, but hopefully by the time we can accept it, we will have enough, hopefully, as a club. Same with the Tom Carroll deal, because obviously he's on a 5 grand extra a week, but at the same price, so we definitely can't afford him just yet. Maybe need to look to get rid of somebody else at some stage. Ross Turnbull being the one that's on the way out, hopefully, at the moment. Corey Smith, again, Bristol City wanting 1.7 million. I don't think we can quite match that, but what we will do is, I think, offer them 1.4, a little bit more of a fairer offer. We'll wait and see what they say to that one. Again, another suggestion, but I think we'll wait on, probably we'll wait on the scout report on that one. Not too sure what overall is, so it's a little bit risky trying to sign him. Okay, first of all, Shrewsbury coming back saying 325 is what they're willing to pay. Will happily accept that. I think we need to get him off the books, get in another midfielder as soon as possible. Sadly, that won't be able to happen, I don't think, before this next game, because obviously we won't have the money to sign our first target, basically. Matty James, again, they want 1.4 million for him. We offered them $1 million. I think 1.2 is our final offer on him. I'm not, again, too sure what overall he is. We might have to wait a couple more days to find out exactly what overall he is. Preston coming back and accepting £1.7 million bid for Daniel Johnson. We'll match the 10 grand a week that he's wanting for that. And I think important first team play is more realistic for him. Don't think he's as good as some of the other targets that we're looking at. Dan Gosling, accepting the contract. We don't quite have enough though to sign him up, sadly. Although I don't think we do anyway. I'm pretty sure we're still a couple of grand off being able to sign him. The exact same with Tom Carroll, so we'll leave those until after this game that we've got coming up. Bristol City, though, coming back and accepting the bid that we put in for Corey Smith. We'll match the 25 grand that he is wanting for that wage. So I think also 3-year deal's fair as well, along with an important first-team player. So we won't be able to sign on the midfielder before the Nottingham Forest game. We will leave those in there until after the match. Let's crack on with that one though, change around the team and see whether we can match Newcastle on 13 points. Okay, this is the side I've gone with, looking like a much stronger team now with Barrow in the side. Greenwell starting at keeper. Obviously we've got Berardi playing at right back. He starts instead of Eiling. I'm just going to give him a go. I think he did quite well in that last game, so we'll give him another go in this match. Bartley will start alongside Janssen, Taylor at left back, O'Kane and Bridcut in midfield, Dallas on the left hand side, Barrow will start on the right, Hernandez just in behind Roof. Don't know what I'll do about Dallas, whether he'll stay in the team, not too sure. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe I put Barrow on the left at some stage and Sacco might well go onto the left or onto the right, whichever really, the opposite to the side that Barrow will be on. So maybe Dallas won't be in the side, I don't really know. Let me know your thoughts about that one in the comments below. Should I keep him in or not? Let's crack on though with the game against Nottingham Forest, try and get ourselves the win, obviously get the 3 points, and see whether we can get onto the 13 points. Well then, here we go. We've got Barrow in the side. Really want to try and get him on the ball as much as possible. I hope he's a good player for us. We've obviously spent some big money trying to sign him, including his wage, by the way, which, in case you didn't know, 70 grand a week. So yeah, huge wage for him. He needs to perform on that sort of wage. Hopefully he can do in this game. Roof starting up front as well. Can he assist? Yes, he can already. What a start. Is that Stuart Dallas that's got the goal? It is, just as I was on about potentially maybe not him being in the team. He has scored just 2 minutes in. What a start that is. Really quick start from us. We've been doing that quite a lot actually recently with the quick starts. Stuart Dallas there smashing it past the goalkeeper. 1-0 just 3 minutes in. Hernandez looking to set up Barrow, who's on the run here. Cutting inside on his left foot, shooting. Maybe needs to work on his shot a little bit there, Barrow, but it's a good run nevertheless, and using his pace and dribbling to burst through Nottingham Forest. Starting to open them up actually quite a lot here. Oh, what a hit. Who has smashed that one in? Wow, 30 minutes into this game and someone's just hit an absolute corker into the goal behind Rob Green. Smashes it past him there. Osborne it is on his left foot. I think that might be the first goal that we've conceded in the league. We've been pretty tight at the back for most of the season, but there's no stopping that. What a hit that is. 1-1, 15 minutes to go in this first half. Oh, it's a good ball through, and it's 2-1. Wow, we've really been put under a bit of pressure here. They've taken the chances, Nottingham Forest, and it was a good ball through. I think it was Luca, was it, or something, that scored the goal there just before half-time. And yeah, this is the first time I think we've been behind in a game this season so far. Good little ball through, they've opened us up there, Green couldn't save it, into the bottom left-hand corner, 2-1. And that is it for the first half. It is still 2-1, obviously I think it was Leica actually that scored that second goal to make it 2-1. So yeah, disappointing end to the second half, to the first half I should say, but we did play quite good football for most of it, probably the better team to be honest, so a bit unlucky to be going into the second half 2-1 down. We won't make any changes though just yet, it seems like they will though. They're going to bring on Luke Murphy, the player that we just sold to them. He's for some reason their captain now. But yeah, that's very ironic, isn't it? Gonna try and find an opportunity to cross it in. Dallas trying to find O'Kane. Falls to Taylor, who smacks it against the post. Oh, on his right foot. What a hit that was. Don't know how he's found himself centrally like that, Taylor, but it's a good hit from him. Sadly, couldn't score it though. Okay, the first two changes now. Fletcher and Diane Kugaro will both come on. About 30 minutes left. O'Kane and Dallas will therefore come off. Roof will go on to the left-hand side. I think Barrow will stay on the right-hand side for now. We'll probably bring on Sacco at some point to add some more pace into the team. Maybe it'll be Antonsen though instead. Who knows? I think Pablo's got to come off now. Getting quite tired. Antonsen will come in just behind Fletcher. Almost plays another striker, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully going to give us a bit more of an attacking threat. Hernandez struggling, I think, a little bit now with 20 minutes to go. No. Okay, 3-1. Not good. Not a great way to end the game. And we didn't end the first half very well. We've not ended the second half well as well. So yeah, disappointing. Very disappointing there. Rob Green rushing out. I thought he was going to get there, to be honest, but he didn't. and yeah, it's now 3-1. It's just got a little bit worse for us. It looks like we'll be losing this next game. So yeah, we've lost the game. Disappointing result there against Nottingham Forest. We're never going to go the whole season undefeated, obviously, because our target is to win the league. Well, not to win the league, to get promoted, I should say. But we were never really going to win every single match. So we had to lose it inevitably, I think, at some point. Just a bit of a shame it was against Nottingham Forest, I think. It was after a win against them, to be honest. So that leaves the table looking like that. We're still on 10 points from 5 games, so not too bad. Villa and Newcastle ahead of us, as you might expect, to be honest, based on their squads that they have. But we're still in 3rd position. That's very good in the playoffs at the moment. Only 5 games in, so things can obviously massively change. There's 46 games, so it's always going to be a bit of an interesting season for us, I would imagine. We've got some more play drills to do. I think we'll keep with the exact same 5, I think. I don't think I should change it just yet. Maybe Alex Mort should come out, actually. We'll see who we can train instead. I think we'll go with Vieira this week instead of Alex Mort. Chuck him in there, going with beat your man. We'll wait and see how he does there. Maybe we should have gone with a passing drill, but we'll go with that one for now, and we can always change it next week. Have they done anything? Yes, Peacock Farrell going up to 65 overall. Anderson getting closer to 60 overall. Remember, he is in our youth academy, Swedish centre-back who could potentially partner Janssen at some point, if obviously he comes into the team by then. We'll quickly have a look at some of the emails. We've got 5 to have a look at. We've got a player sold, and that is Ross Turnbull. He's gone to Shrewsbury. We've got some money back from him. So can we finally sign another midfielder? Let's wait and see. We've got Leicester accepting the bid for Matty James. We've got Daniel Johnson potentially signing forwards. Corey Smith again signing as well. I think it's going to be between Dan Gosling and Tom Carroll. I just don't know who's better. I'm going to have to quickly decide. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is, rather than me deciding, I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the comments below of this episode. I did that with the last episode as well, when I was asking you guys about what I should do with Luke Murphy, or whether to sell him or not. You said sell him, so I did. And now I'm going to ask you who I should get in to replace him. Obviously, I know Corey Smith was suggested, but that was just by one person. So we'll wait and see what the general consensus is about these 5 players. Which one should I try and sign? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. And we will be ending the episode here. We'll leave you plenty of time to hopefully try and make that signing before transfer deadline day. So that is everything. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could go ahead and hit 30 likes on this video, that would be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. So close to 5,000 subs, as I said at the start of the video. So thank you if you do go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, that's everything for the episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.